Hi guys, here is the demo video for my Mark IV version of the E11 Open Blaster project. My Mark IV is basically a combination of my Mark I and Mark II, but I made a couple changes to save some space internally as well as reduce the overall cost of the build. The first change is that I went away from using the Doopy-Doo's resin kit to using 3D printed parts, and those being the front of the scope, the tip, folding stock, and the magwell and magazine. And then the other big change is that I went to an external battery and battery holder. Those two items together are realistically the same size as the Doopy-Doo's part that would normally go there anyways. They may not look as nice as the resin part, but realistically nobody's going to notice, so I didn't really have a problem with making that change. So the big change in the Mark II was that I added the blast rail, and I was able to do that with this version as well. So as a shot is fired, you're going to see the lights on the blast rail flash up as if an energy bolt was leaving the weapon. And that's a red color. And same with the tip. So if I select to advance the sound 2, which is my stun sound, that's going to be a blue color. And again, blue tip. Okay, so let's go into the configuration mode to get at the other change. Alright, so right now I'm in the 2 sound mode. I'll hit the selector to advance to the 10 sound mode, and then advance to the next configuration mode. This mode is standby mode, which I am going to skip past because I touched on that in the Mark I video. This mode is for Cylon mode. We will select that and advance to the next mode, which is volume control, and I will skip past that. Alright, so as soon as I exit out of configuration and I selected the Cylon mode, the Cylon rail kicks in. We left off on a blue sound, so the Cylon rail is flashing in blue. And as I pull the trigger, you're going to see the rail stop, and then you'll see the energy blast count up, and then after a 3-second pause, the rail will kick back in. And rail kicks back in. So I'll advance to another sound, which is a red sound. So same thing with the red sounds. And the rail does not kick back in until there is a 3-second pause in the firing action. So if you want to keep firing, then the rail's not going to kick in. Alright, so let's advance a couple more sounds. This sound is a burst sound, so it's multiple blasts fired at once. So for this one, you're going to see the rail flash a couple times to correlate with the length of the sound that's being played. And same thing with the tip. Alright, so moving right along, the other change is that in the movie for the Gene Ocean Blaster, if you remember, that was like a greenish color energy weapon. So I was able to add the green in for this version. And tip as well. And then a couple extra sounds. one sound that I just had to add in because it's, well, everywhere, is the Wilhelm yell. It almost sounds like a strange blaster. Alright, so cost-wise, for this, came in right where I wanted to be. It was at $100, which compared to my Mark 1, that was a $36 savings, and when you factor in the extra benefit of the Cylon rail, it's actually a pretty good value to have $100 to have something like this. It's pretty cool. I hope this inspires you to get out there and make your own creations, because let me tell you, when you can make something that is cool as hell with your own two hands, it is a very rewarding experience. So I'm going to end on my final sound, which is the Imperial March.